Welcome to the Blaize interview. My name is Blaize, and today we have
The Drunken Stoner.
Pleasure. Thank you for coming, Drunken.
Thank you for having me, Blaize.
Do you prefer or Mr. Stoner?
I like Mr. Stoner a
Mr.
little bit
Stoner?
better. Yeah,
Is this
Dr. Stoner.
What makes you? What are you?
I got my PhD in stonology.
Stonology, stonism,
The Stone Age, if you
the
will.
Stone Age. But thank you. So one of the first things I always like to ask the people who come on is like, how did you get into comedy?
Well, actually, it's funny. One day, 1993, my mother squeezed out a creature, and that creature squeezed out a turd onto her leg, and I knew after that I was gonna be fucking hilarious. Like, I don't know. No, I ever since I was a kid, I kind of wanted to be a comedian. I always said I wanted to do what like I saw Eddie Murphy do. My mom would always play
Delirious or Raw?
She played Raw and Delirious, but I remember Raw specifically because I remember the purple, that really tight, skin tight fucking suit. I'm like, oh man, I want to be a superhero like that on stage, you know? My mom's like, that's not a superhero, son. Like, I'm like,
that's my superhero.
Yeah, he is. He is to all of us, man.
Okay, so I want to ask you a quick question about Eddie. What was your favorite skit?
I like the out of both of them or out of all of them.
Out of all of them. Go ahead. Out of all of them.
I like his dad's barbecue story
Oh,
because
the
that
barbecue
always
story.
reminded me of my dad. This is my house, Gus. Motherfucker, you burn it. If you come in here, you burn Charlie's eyebrows out. You try to start a fire, motherfucker. Like that is my.
Yeah,
this is my house, my drink, motherfucker. Like that was my
He
dad.
gets drunk every holiday. He gets drunk. It's my house. I pay the
my
bills.
house, and you bring your ugly Aunt Bunny. She scares the shit out of the children.
Yeah.
What the fuck? She said she's Puerto Rican. She said Goonie Goo Goo to me when I first met her. I went to work. I told Ramirez Goonie Goo Goo. He said, "Get the fuck out of here."
I love that. Honestly, my favorite one is the ice cream one.
The ice cream.
Ice cream. I got some ice cream. I got some ice cream.
And you can't have none cause you can't afford it. Cause your father is an alcoholic. That's such a good
beat you. And then you drop it. You ain't got no ice cream. You ain't got no ice cream.
It's good.
That was the 5 second we were just staying in it.
Oh shit.
I love Eddie. Eddie is one of them. Gabriel Iglesias is one of my favorite first comedians. I have to say is like definitely George Lopez.
George Lopez, man, I grew up watching his show
Yeah.
more than I watched his comedy. Then when I watched his comedy, I was confused.
Really?
Like, because I didn't expect him to be like that. Like, so dead on the nose like his show. I'm like, oh, like, I didn't know that could be a thing. But that always gave me a goal. Like, I know every comedian's like, oh, I want a sitcom. But no, if I have a sitcom, I want it to be like a family-friendly one like George Lopez made it, kind of. Where it's like, he took dirty
the father's
jokes.
drunk.
Yeah, it was like dirty jokes and stoned and drunk, but somehow, like, make it kid-friendly. I don't know.
That's, it's more going to be a PG-13. You have a better chance on like FXX.
Yeah, exactly. Right after It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, season 36 or whatever.
The Drunken Family.
The
Drunken Stone Family.
I can see it. That sounds fun.
Actually, it would be whimsical.
You know, kids who like it would be funny, like the kid smokes and stuff, and like the dad smokes, and
it would be like the '70s shows, but in reverse.
Yeah, or like my kids are like think it's lame that I get so fucked up all the time. They're like, "You're such a goober" and stuff, and I'm like,
"You're such a goody goo.
You're a goody goo.
You're a goody goo."
Oh man, my hair starts to sweat, and I gotta put my hat back on.
No, it's all good. You look nice though. You look like you came in here in a lowrider though.
You know what? That's always the cultivated look I try to come for.
You look like you came in the culture, but you came in a Tacoma.
It's like, I'm from the culture, but not the violent part of it. Like, you know, it's just like, I try to make it fun.
I drive a truck, which means I'm from the working class.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. We get run out of parks quicker. The other day we were at Lake Balboa. We were parked in the park. All these trucks, a whole bunch of trucks. The cops pull up and they zoom everybody out of there. When it's lowriders, they kind of don't know what to do. But like with trucks, they're like, "The guys are working class, man. We take their trucks, man.
They're fired, man. They can't afford rent." It's like, I'm gone, motherfucker. I'm gone.
The lowriders get ballsy. They'll chirp off and stuff. Trucks were like, "Nope, we're going every which way. They're going over fucking fences and shit. However you can get out of
I
it."
prefer a truck because I can go over curves and not worry about it.
Yeah, it's the best.
You're like, oh, the curve's right there. So what? Drive over it. shit.
Oh, dude, I love that. Like, in and out when the line's packed and, like, people are behind you can't pack out. You just, like, glow, glow, glow. People are like, oh, look, he's so cool. Or he's an asshole. But I like to think it's the first one.
Honestly, I was against having a truck for the longest time. Partly because, so I don't think I told you, growing up, my parents have a truck body business.
Oh, shit.
So we build and manufacture truck bodies. So I spent a lot of my childhood outside, building trucks. I learned how to drive a forklift before I learned how to drive a car or a truck. Let me say that. So I learned how to weld, power tools. Like by 10 years old, I was already working. I learned what it meant to like have hard work. But like, I was against it because like I'd driven so many trucks. And I was like, nah, I just want a 4-door, regular car,
little sedan, something.
Yeah, you know what I mean. This is like
hatchback or something.
5-seater, just a little 5-seater. You know what I mean? I have a trunk and everything. Nothing fancy. That's all I wanted. That's what I got a Hyundai Elantra. I used to call her Ala Cruz because her license plate was her. You know how you get the government plate, so it said CRU for the 3 letters on it. So I was like, all right,
Crew.
I'm gonna call her Cruz. So I gave her a first and a last name. I called her Ala for the Hyundai Elantra, Ala Cruz.
Elantra Cruz, Ala Cruz.
Ala Cruz. I was like, welcome to Ala Cruz. The Tacoma, she don't get a name. She's
a dirty. I named mine.
What's your name yours?
I call it the Razor Crest.
The Razor Crest.
Yeah, after the Mandalorian, his original ship was the Razor Crest, and I've done a lot of off-road crazy things. Like a lot of crazy shit's happened in that truck. I'd probably get arrested if I mentioned half of it, and the other half of it's exciting adventures.
That's not sexy though. You gotta at least give something sexy.
Oh, the Razor Crest is sexy, man. It's got me out of so many pickles, and like she's pretty but ugly, like it's like one of those like she's missing the front of her face now, like but she's still rolling.
My bitch got her catalytic converter still, so I know how it is. But
she's loud. She won't shut up. Just.
Well, the thing is, my dad, because he has his truck body business, so what they did is they put a pipe through it. So I don't have that converter to like help with smog, but instead of
it doesn't pop in every it's not
there's a pipe. They welded a pipe on it. So
shit.
Some real Mexican shit.
I respect that though. There's a certain like level of like you won't find it in any other state. You go to Texas, you go to wherever. Only in Los Angeles will you see like someone rolling down the street with their window like missing right there at their door, and they put like a real house door with like a fucking like house window, bay window on the side and shit.
Yeah. I've seen that a few times. I ain't gonna. You know what I hate though? One of my not roommates, but one of the tenants here in my apartment. They have the Jeep, but they got the doors off.
Yeah.
I hate that.
You don't like that?
No, the reason why, because I'm like, bruh, how soon before you come back from a restaurant you see a homeless person just sleeping in it?
Making a soup kitchen in
there? Yeah, a soup kitchen in it. Just like, not even a soup, more like a sperm kitchen.
You ever seen The Other Guys? That's what they say they call it when a bunch of homeless people fuck in your car. They call it a soup kitchen.
Well, it was The Other Guys. That was a good one. And then there was there's another movie where they got their car stolen and there's a whole bunch of homeless people. It was Harold and Kumar, but it was the second one. What was the second one in Harold Kumar?
Harold and Kumar. Oh, not Guantanamo. Yeah, Escape from Guantanamo Bay.
That's the first one.
No, the first one's White Castle.
Okay, then it has to be the White Castle one. Where there are a whole bunch of homeless people fucking their car. Yeah, it is the first one.
What? I don't remember this scene. Holy shit, I need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah, you always watch it high. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. And I forget all the scenes. My favorite scene in that movie, in the first one, I really like the whole jail scene where he has like that flashback of him like with the giant bag of weed. Because every time I get a giant bag of weed, like I got to fucking like. Every now and then I'll pick up pounds, I'm like, oh yeah, let's get a pound here. No. And the feeling of having a pound of weed. Yeah. Like, you hug it like a pillow. You don't want to let it go. Yeah. And every time you smoke it, I'm sorry. I'm only going to smoke a little bit more of you. And then just, like, it's, like, halfway gone. You're looking skinny. I wish I could fatten you up again, but I can't afford you anymore. It's just, like, now I have to sell you. And, like, you're turning tricks out on the street with her. Like, just, like, come on. I need a little money here, a little money there. I gotta pay rent. And then you got a new bitch right here. And she don't smell as good. But, like, you could make probably more money with her because she looks a little better, even though she's a little stank. And you're all in the corner, fucking, slanging that girl. And then all of a sudden, you get a really beautiful one. You don't want to smoke it. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm talking about pimping weed now. God.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what you're doing.
That's what you feel like it. You're just like, and I'm not even. You don't ever try to sell your weed. You never want to. When it comes to that, feel like you're betraying her.
See, the thing is, I've never sold weed, but I've definitely been a middleman for weed dealers. You know what I mean?
That's selling weed.
Did
you make money off of it?
No. I didn't make no money off it. Like,
that's just you being a friendly member of the community.
Yeah, it's like people say, "Hey, where can I get some weed?" I was like, all right, hold on. Here's this dude. Here's this dude. Here's that. Because, like, I think I told you, one of my jokes is about, like, when you're in college, especially, you have, like, 4 or 5 dudes on the roll. So you got your main weed dealer, you got your second main weed dealer, and you got your third.
Oh, and, I know how that is.
Yeah. Like, you call the first dude, he don't answer back for, like, 3 hours. The second dude, he don't answer back for 2 hours. The third dude, he don't answer back at you 4 hours. And you call the fourth dude, and all 3 of them call you at the same time. It's like, hey, man, I got you. What's up? So you're trying to spit, like, $20 between, like, 5 guys and shit. It's like, fuck, man. Do you take sense?
Man, it's so funny because, like, all the dudes I deal with now have, like, ridiculous amounts of weed. So, like and it's cool. Like, back in the day, you deal with dealers and they'd be like, oh, man, I got you on an ounce for this price. Now I'm getting, like, fucking pounds for that price. But also at the same part, like, I feel like it's making me, like, kind of, like, accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So,
it's
like,
inflation, bro. It's inflation. We need weedflation.
Oh, it's the opposite, man. I feel like people who are buying from dispensaries are missing out, man. Like, I mean, you come to Los Angeles, don't be a tourist. Come hit one of these little, like, weed things, or find somebody special. Ask around for your local neighborhood drug dealer, because, like, well, you know what I mean.
Here, I have another joke, honestly, because it's the same. Like, these weed shops are like Apple stores versus Cricket Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the ones that, like, the official ones where you have to pay taxes and shit. Like, you know, it's like, oh, here's it, but you also have to pay taxes, and it's like 73 cents. I'm like,
73 cents, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck. And then they give you cents back and shit. I'm like, I just bought weed. Where the fuck am I getting cents out of weed from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like getting cents with my weed. Like, no. I want dollars. And then 100%. You go, like, then the other places, they're like a Cricket Mobile is in, like, a sketchy area. Like, you have to pay for parking. You know what I mean? You
don't have to, but you should. Like, it's highly recommended you pay for parking.
Otherwise, you will get a fucking ticket.
Or get your car broken into.
Towed or some shit. Yeah. So you got to pay for parking to get into the spot. And when you get in the spot, like, you got to give them your ID. And then they pat you down before you go in. And you go through one door.
Like, I don't think you have your guard card. What you mean, homie? I got my guard card. Okay, never mind.
That's the one where we got to go through, like, a whole, like, there's the whole middle section.
I think you're talking about the same places as me.
No, it's different, but yeah, they're a little different. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, they all got their own little. I tell you what, I did a show at one of these recently. I did a boxing show. Like, it was Extreme.
That's right, battle. Extreme. Who was on the card? Who were you facing?
So I was the host for it.
I thought you were fighting someone. Because the way you were promoting, I thought you were fighting.
No, this time I want to fight somebody.
Okay.
I mean, I wanted to fight somebody last time, but it really comes down to weight class and who's willing to go up against who. Because you're roasting and then you're fighting too.
Yeah.
And I don't mind anybody. I'm trying to do it fair, though, for everybody. Yeah. So I'm trying to make it fun so everybody can have a good time. And so I did weight classes. I got Zach Honda versus Jared Levin, and Jared Levin took that one. Zach Honda did very great, though. Very
Wait. Oh, they took it in the... Or so you're saying, who won the boxing part of it? Who won the roasting part of it? Because that also...
Both went to Jared.
Both went to Jared.
Both went to Jared. Okay. But all I got to say... They both did well as far as the fighting goes. The roasting, I think they were a little... They were in a hot boxed room full of 50 different vendors. Literally behind them, there's like a fireworks vendor you see. Like over here, there's a guy freaking selling like those burner freaking like
those burner phones.
The ones those all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, this was a wild session.
Yeah.
And so everybody was a little discombobulated. There was smoke everywhere, and they were not fighting on a ring. We were supposed to get a ring, but things happened. It fell through, and these guys were fighting on the concrete. Yeah, we have mats now.
Okay.
But at the time we did not, and we were pissed. I said, "Hey, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I guess we have to call it off." They're like, "Fuck, no, we don't. We're still fighting." And we're like, "Okay, you got us mad at each other." They
were shit. Who's McGregor? Who was the McGregor?
I gotta say the McGregor was probably. Zach Honda, because he was kind of like overconfident. I got these styles. And you know what? Jared plays it like he doesn't know how to fight, but Jared is a very skilled fighter. He's a surfer. He's got hands, man.
I mean,
he looks like it.
Surfers got cardio.
Yeah.
Surfers got, because when I used to live in Hawaii, I surfed a few times, and motherfucker, surfers got shoulders.
Yeah.
Got shoulders, because they got to do all that
paddling. All the good stuff for fights, though.
Shoulders, and they got cardio. Shoulders and cardio.
And a lot of them have forearms, too, from carrying their boards and stuff, especially if they're longboard surfers, and the paddling and stuff.
Honestly, the longer the board, the easier it is to surf. That's why. The shorter the board, the harder it is to surf.
I want to get a longboard. I always thought I'd be okay on a longboard. I can't do one of these little tight
Honestly, the best, mine is like a 12-footer. I have to surf on a 12-footer.
You were out in Hawaii for a while, huh?
4 years.
Oh, man. How was I know you're out there. Were you surfing like a major part of your life out there?
No. I was surfing I surfed honestly, I would say probably total 10 times. 10 times in 4 years.
I've never surfed once in my life.
It's fun. Yeah. It is fun.
I've boogie boarded a couple times.
Boogie boarding is different though. Boogie boarding is very, very different, because the difference between boogie boarding is you
don't pop up or nothing. Yeah.
No.
Just kind of.
Yeah, because you gotta So it's funny because when I was when I surfed with one of my friends, one of my roommates actually in college. He said, "Blaize, you surf like a YouTube video."
You surf like a YouTube video.
Yeah, very instructional. Yeah. Because I that's the only way I knew how to do it. You know what I mean? I was just boom. Because what you gotta do is you gotta put your hands by your nipples, bring your knees up. And then you just gotta jump up.
You are very YouTube tutorial-esque with everything you do. Even when we got here, you corrected my posture in a way that was very reminiscent of something.
Okay, but the difference is
you did it that was amazing. I'll tell you what, I feel better. Even though now I'm back to my slouch and sitting here on the thing, just I could probably still do it here.
Yeah, it's nice, but you gotta be the neck back. You're oh.
No, I just feel too proper. I can't do that. I'm sitting here like this. I gotta seem like a sinister king. When you're sitting on chairs like this, these velvet ones are like fucking. You're waiting for Dr. Melfi to talk to you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Tony Soprano here.
Actually, I got these off Honestly, Facebook Market is very hit or miss, and they got these. That's where I got these. They're very nice. I like them.
These are very nice. I like the velour on it. Really comfortable to the skin. Yeah. Especially when you're faded, you're just like. Just a Molly rub up on it. Oh, yeah.
Pet the furry wall.
Stroke the furry wall. Stroke the furry wall.
No, it's pet the furry wall. Pet the furry wall.
Oh, dude, I want to get one of those freaking, have you seen those new wall things that they have? It's not furry, but it's it's like a foam. Have you seen that?
No.
People put on, it's so you don't have to clean your walls. It's like some shit that it's a foam material that you could dust and it all comes off and I don't know, or it doesn't smear, no smudges happen on it. I don't know how true this is, but it kind of looks like bumpy. I want to get that. It seems like it'd be sick to just rub all day.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of this.
Do you know what it's called? Because I watch all those weird innovation things. I always feel like people see these YouTube videos that have billions of views. So I'm like, oh, you've seen it?
I don't watch TikTok. I'm not on TikTok.
No, I said YouTube.
YouTube. Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I heard TikTok. That's not me.
Yeah, maybe I actually said I have a TikTok. I don't use TikTok.
I'm not a TikToker. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people.
I couldn't get into it. I tried doing it. It's not fun. It's just you have to do the trends. You have
too much. I don't know, just trends, but it's just it's just video. I was honestly for the longest time. I was honestly against Instagram for the longest time ever. The only reason I got Instagram was actually because I was going to college in Hawaii, and I was like, I'm gonna go to college in Hawaii. I'm gonna document a little bit. I didn't really document. I'm not a picture guy. You know what I mean? My grandmother, she's one of those people. She's got all right. Here's the story. So one of my girlfriends in college, I brought her back home. Bring a girl back home from college, meet the family, and literally she came and she met my grandmother, and she was in my grandma's house. And my grandma was like, "Oh, here's another a book, not a scrapbook. She wasn't a scrapbook, but she had the sleeves. You know what I mean? Because she would she would take the pictures and she would put them in sleeves, and it was just sleeves and sleeves and sleeves and sleeves of picture. She brought out 5 different binders of these sleeves. You know what I mean? And these sleeves weren't this. They were each of them was this thick. You know what I mean? A full binder thick
shit, yeah.
of photos. of just photos in your
like probably like a month, like
No,
she'd have them like organized into different like this is like the 1 month you came over and back in July of 37.
Yeah, and that's just like the shit it was. It was just like all these different photos. Like she was very like if she was like one of those people who she'd post every day. If she had Instagram and all Snapchat and all this shit, she'd be one of those women who would be posting not just because she's vain, but just because she likes to take pictures. Some people just like to take pictures, and that's what she is. She just likes to take pictures.
I got a lot of my Italian family offended because I blocked all of them because they do kind of the same thing. They post photos all day. They'll edit themselves onto people's bodies and stuff, like all kind of weird shit. Get like 2 likes on it and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, I gotta block you at some point. And you're sending me requests to do things. It's like, no, fuck off. No, stay in Italy. Stay in Italy.
Requests to do things like what?
I don't know, like fucking like on MySpace. They'll back in the day they want you to play those fucking games.
Actually,
Facebook they want you to play games.
Actually, I got a joke about about MySpace, because you remember MySpace, like people would go, you would get offended. It's like, hey man, why aren't you in my top 10? Or like you would date a girl and it's like, hey, why aren't you your number 1? And it's like, oh, that's my grandma. Yeah, but I'm number 3. I was like, number 2 is my mom. And it's like, yeah, why ain't I number 1? And it's like these women's like, hold on, I can't put my grandma and mama over you. Like you gotta know your boundaries. You know what I mean? That's the thing I got with MySpace. It's like when we used to rank people, like that was.
I hated that.
That was peak toxicity. I was there.
It's funny. It's great that you've been around long enough that you have jokes about stuff like that. I remember when I was first getting into comedy, I had a joke about my family, like about this exact situation.
Where did you start though? When was your first where was your first mic? When was your first one? When did you go on
first
stage?
One I went to so check this out. So I've always wanted to do comedy. The first time I ever did comedy was at school. I did a talent show one time when I was like fucking elementary school.
Oh.
And then eventually when I was like 14, I was hitting Hollywood and skateboarding
14?
Well, I used to skateboard a lot.
So you wanted to be a skater first?
Well, no, I just, that's how we got around, and I was hanging out with all the punk kids, so we were skating around, and we'd show up to the comedy clubs, and I'd be like, hey, homie, I want to sign up to do this, and like they'd always say no, and then I met this one guy. Oh God!
At 14, yeah. At 14, you were.
No, I started. That's when I started going by the comedy clubs trying to get it. I'd say I was about 16 when I finally met a guy that worked there, and it was. I don't think he works there anymore. He let me into the Laugh Factory. He said, "Hey, as long as you go in, you do your jokes, and then leave, and you got to be clean the whole time." I have no problem with that.
Because you're under 16?
Well, because I was 16 at this time.
So you said you had to be clean.
I had to be clean, yeah. So, so I was excited because I've been for 2 years trying to get into these clubs, and finally some guy says, "Yeah, dude," because he said, "I see you're serious about it. You've been coming around a lot." And for 2 years, I try. I bring all my friends around. I finally meet Sarah when I was 18. I meet Sarah, and we go down to the Comedy Store. And one day, I meet some guy that works there. Kind of, hey, zany guy like this. Happened to be on the bill for Extreme Roast Battle. Jared Levin.
Oh.
My buddy Jared let me in when we weren't old enough to get in, and he says, "Hey, just go in, do your comedy, and get the fuck out of there." I don't care, bro. You're trying to do comedy, man. You know how he is. He's a cool surfer dude. He's like,
chill.
I love that guy. Yeah, amazing energy.
So your first time was at the Laugh Factory,
and then the Comedy Store.
So what was it? What was the joke she talked about? Like what was?
Yeah, actually, this is what was funny because at 16, I remember saying a joke like, because I remember there's this thing called Farmville back in the day. Do you remember that? And I said, my fucking Italian family. Yeah.
Farmville. I used to flirt the fuck out of Farmville. You know, you remember you used to flirt, like you go on girls like, hey, I just sent you those flowers. Did you get those flowers?
But that's funny. So my family would send me this all the time. So I actually had, and I remember the joke still, like to the day I said, I used to hate it because my family always tries to send me invitations on fucking Farmville. You send me another invitation for Farmville, I'm going to burn down your farm and kill the crops, motherfuckers.
That's great. That's actually great. Yeah. That's actually great. You need to bring that back.
Yeah, it was good, but I mean, today with, I guess I always...
I know it would work, especially if you did it's like we were talking about, like at a casino vibe, like older people vibe, like people.
Oh, they get it. Yeah, they'd remember it.
People like us, like I feel like if you did that, even at a bar, like there's people. If you said Farmville, there's people. Those are the Odell Beckham, like Oh shit!
Yeah, that was the goat back in the day.
Odell Beckham. you know when it catches the back of the head. I call that the Odell Beckham. Remember that one against the Cowboys. He went, catched it with his left hand.
You know who did that better? What's his name? Wilson. Russell Wilson? What was his name?
Russell Wilson, the quarterback, or
no? Russell Wilson.
Wilson.
Played for Seattle.
Seattle.
Played for
Seattle.
Played for the Seahawks. I forgot his name.
Seahawks quarterback.
No, not quarterback. He was a receiver. Wild dude, man.
Metcalf.
Man, I'm so bad with names. I'm not a sports guy. I don't
fight
fight
What number? Oh, dude, what color was he wearing? I remember
what color his skin was. No,
That's one thing. I'm talking about what color was the jersey. What color was the...
Yeah, I remember his jersey was a Seattle Seahawks jersey.
Okay, the white one, or was it the blue one?
Russell Davis. Was it? Russell Wilson. It was Russell Wilson one day?
Russell Wilson's the quarterback.
He's a quarterback.
Sarah, just so you all know that voice over there is Sarah. She's honestly... I would say the engine to the DS.
Yeah, she is.
She is. Honestly, I will say this. Like, one thing I will say is, Sarah, you can come in frame for this because you need some props because you honestly I see you work. No, this is how she is. She's always the back person. She just likes to be, but she is literally everything. Your festivals, everything you've done. I'm damn, this woman's everything, and I'm when you guys recently got engaged.
Yeah.
When did you guys get engaged?
420.
You fuck.
Yeah, come on.
Is the wedding this 420 next coming up?
We were gonna make it Halloween, but we got the festival coming up. But I think we're gonna push it to next 7/10.
7/10.
Yeah, because I want to do it somewhere fun, and
okay.
we need to get the money going for that.
Well, to be fair, weddings are fucking expensive.
Yeah,
weddings are very, very expensive. I'm not saying the only thing more expensive than a wedding is a baby. Yeah, but congratulations, y'all, and I love y'all.
Appreciate
you guys are so
that,
great.
man.
I love seeing both of y'all.
Appreciate
and like I said, she's been in the background this whole time because that's what she always is. She's the engine behind everything.
Yeah, she really does help keep things moving. Without her, she's a constant reminder. If something's not moving properly, if equipment's not working right, if we forget anything, she'll know it. She's just that person.
I will say this, you guys' kind of relationship reminds me of my parents. My parents, they worked together. So my mother, she was the person who was working in the office. My father was the guy in the yard. And so because of the truck body business, and you're the guy in the yard, you're the face, she's the one, when the customers come, they talk to you, this and that. But then
she's the one recording them,
she's
putting it out into the internet.
She's the social media, she's everything. She's the paperwork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And not to say, but it's not that you guys aren't equal, but you guys are equal in the sense that you guys both do the same with my parents. It's they're both equal in the sense that
they do their own thing.
It's separate. But no.
But it works for one machine.
Yeah. The guys are working together. So
she's the engine. I'm the frame.
Yeah. You're the face.
She's got more than going to that than the engine.
See, the thing is, it's like a sports car. You're
I'm just the catalytic converter, bro.
I'm gonna steal him. No, she's more the catalytic converter. Yeah. No, she's more valuable. I'm just kidding.
Bro, oh my god. Speaking of girlfriends, do you remember that one time?
Nope.
I'm not even gonna bring up the name of the place, but I remember I was doing a show at a brewery at the time, and you said, "Hey, and anyways, you're very beautiful," to the girl, and she was like, "Yeah, thank you so much." And then you're like, "I'm just saying we should probably go on a date." And then the boy. Who was kicking around? Do you remember that? And he goes, "I'm the boyfriend, pal." And you're like, "Oh, sorry, didn't even realize." You continue smoking like you didn't even do it, and we're just sitting there. Do you remember how funny that was?
Did I do that?
Oh my god, yeah, it was one of the funniest things ever.
Oh,
bro.
did I do that? I don't even remember that. I did
because I didn't know it was. I mean. I had been doing a show there. I didn't really know it was the boyfriend at first. I thought it was the gay friend. And that was the day I found out. Do you remember that was the day we found out?
Was that the show in Lancaster, or was the show in the brewery?
The other one, the other brewery.
It was the.
Let's not even say. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just don't want them to be there, but that's me.
I never remember
because they still watch the shit we do, so I don't want to. Yeah.
Are they still together?
I think so. Yeah. Damn. You would have tried again. Did you get her? You probably got her on Instagram.
No, because
the whole thing, the whole weirdness of that was such a funny moment though, because we still continued smoking. We kind of just ignored it and we're just like,
all right, bye. All right, oh dang it, bye. She's like, all right, because that's
such a cliche comedy show move. Like honestly,
no, because it was like, oh, you got a boyfriend? No, she's like, yeah, I'm right. He said,
I'm right here, bud. Like he did that. He did that. He did that. I'm right here, bud.
I literally, no, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like,
come on now.
It's not that I'm a bad guy. I'm just like my father. Like I told you, my father was a smart man and a good man. He taught me well.
I like it.
He's a smart man and a good man. He's a smart man and a good man. But he taught me a few things here and there.
That's a good thing. Hey, as long as you learn the smart things. I mean, it would be good to learn the good things, too. But, I mean, you learn those on your own. I think it's actually better.
I learned a lot more good things from my mother than my father. I'll say that much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
I'm there, too.
So,
I'm right there.
I do, now that you bring that up, yeah, that's, I'm single, so what?
That was a funny, bro. That was, like, it was just great. I liked the way you handled it, though. He said, all right. He continued smoking. He was all standing there, still like,
I said, my bad, man. Let's keep moving.
Oh my god!
Because what am I gonna do? Like fight him or like say, oh no,
he wasn't gonna fight you. No.
Well, I'm not the type of person either. Like I'm not the type of person.
No, we came with good vibes. Actually, you killed it with a set. Like honestly, the whole room didn't expect what you were gonna say because you came up there with a cowboy hat on, and then you did your massage joke, which blows people's mind.
Yeah.
Like because you get up there and you know like oh tough guy beard maybe he's a biker. You know, and then you get up there because you had the coat on and stuff.
Well, I had my rainbow jacket on.
I thought you had a green jacket.
Yeah, that's the rainbow jacket.
It's a rainbow?
Yeah, because it has the rainbow on the shoulder. It's my Hawaii. It's my Hawaii jacket.
That's right. It does have rainbows on the thing.
It has the rainbows on the stripe. So actually, funny story about that jacket. So my grandmother and I got in a conversation about it. So I went and visited my grandma because it was Christmas. It was around Christmas. So I went to visit my grandma at her house and I had the jacket on. And she's like, "Oh, mijo. That's a nice jacket." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's from my university." Your university? You know what I mean? University is a big word for a woman who like barely speaks any English. She speaks
fancy big man.
University. I said mi colegio, and she said, "Oh, colegio," and because I had to say mi colegio. I speak half Spanish, half English to her. Yeah. And so I thought mi colegio. Lo colegio se llama los Rainbow Warriors. Oh, los Rainbow Warriors. They're called like the Rainbow Warriors. The Rainbow Warriors, like yeah. Right? So she's like Rainbow Warriors, huh? And I'm like, yeah, because Hawaii is known as the Rainbow State because of like how the way
it's beautiful and it's always raining and the rainbows.
Yeah, because literally there's rainbows all over the place. It's just because of the way that there's always light, there's always humidity in the air. There's always like water in the air. Like there's
rainbows.
There's always rainbows. That's why it's called the Rainbow State.
That's pretty beautiful. That's an amazing thing.
It is. Every day there's a rainbow. Like trust me, there's a rainbow every day. But there's so many double rainbows, dude.
I learned something about rainbows. So you know why rainbows are considered gay? Rainbows suck a lot of cock. No, I don't know where I get that. I'm just trying something else so it would work and it didn't. No, okay, never mind.
That was kind of bad. That was kind of bad. We'll just say like wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Sometimes you shoot and sometimes you miss.
Yeah.
I was like, I think there's a piece here. Let's try to connect it.
Nope.
All right. Yeah. There's still something there. There's a reason rainbows are gay. And like,
well, the rainbow's gay. Well, because the LGBTQ took it because like the rainbow is inclusive because it has all the colors and
that makes
all
sense.
The spectrum. So like we're all together in the rainbow and that's why I took it. But like
Oh, all right. You just taught me something new today.
I can teach you a lot of things about that. Like one of my other.
I can teach you a lot of things.
Yes. I can teach you many things.
I can show you the world.
No, but so my grandma, she's like, "Hey, mijo," and she was like, at the end of it, she was like, "Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you're okay." She didn't say. She didn't say. I want to make sure you're straight. She was like, "I just want to make sure you're okay."
You know what? Like, it's funny. Like, I feel like it's almost unnatural if your parents don't think you're gay at some point, you're not like having fun in life. It's just like you're doing a lot of weird things. It's
I will say this. I one time asked my parents. I barged into them in the middle of the night. Well, I knew they were going to be clothed. Well, I was just say, it was like, before they went to bed, I barged in. I said, "Do you guys think I'm a virgin?" My dad just laughed.
You barged in and said that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying your dad barged in.
No, I did that. Of course, I wouldn't do that. Of course, it was
like, a weird question. It's like, no,
My dad laughed, and my mom, she was reading the newspaper at the time. She put it down. She was like, "No, I don't think you are." I was like, "Weird."
Weird. That's like you wanted. What answer did you want?
I don't even know.
I kind of like it. Kind of like that joke I just told about the rainbow. Like, I don't know where I thought it was going to land, like, but I was like, eh.
I was pissed because my mom got mad because I brought a girl over the house. And
wait, so what age were you when you did this? Was this like 2 months ago?
19. 18, 19.
Oh, that's okay.
18, about 18. I was at 18. It was my freshman year of college. Freshman year of college.
You burst into your... Were you sober?
Yes. Very.
Very so. Is that what it was? You were just like,
I was mad at my mom.
Fucking not fucking do that.
Yeah, I had that no nut energy. Like, I know, full nut energy. You know when you have full nuts and you're just upset because you have full nuts? That's what I had. I had full nut energy.
Yeah, like, the huevos have dropped. Yeah.
Yeah, and my mom had got mad because I brought a girl over not to fuck her. At the time, I was gonna fuck her later in the evening, but I brought her over. It's like, all right, just chill on the couch real quick because I'm gonna take a shower. And Mom got mad at me because like I brought the girl over, and it's like, Mom, I didn't fuck her at the house. I was going to, but Mom came earlier than expected. I'm gonna say, but I wanted to take a shower. I don't like to fuck dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like to take a shower before I fuck. I like to be squeaky clean. You know what I mean? I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Like, there's one thing to be saying about like greasy sex, but I don't like greasy sex. Like, I like clean sex. You know what I mean?
It's funny. I was just saying that the other day. Somebody was just saying like get greasy with them. I'm like, ugh. There's certain words that just don't sound good that describe like things that are great. Like when some people say like the monkey, it's just like you just you're like.
Well, here's the thing: is like I worked
yelling vagina.
I worked in like
give it a banana.
I worked in a truck yard, so I got like a lot of soot. I got a lot of dirt and dust on me. Like when you sweat and you feel that grime coming down your brow and shit. Like you feel the dirt off your skin. Like I hate that feeling.
I'm one of those people that like if I leave a dirty field, I feel it on my skin. Like if I leave the beach, I feel the sands clung to me, and I'm one of those like I like to take multiple showers to the day. I know it's not good for because we had a drought or whatever.
Fuck them.
And they say water's they say like what is it? You're supposed to let your skin heal for 3 days, but I'm Sicilian, man. I don't want to smell like hot ass.
I'm Mexican, motherfucker. My mom, I take 2 baths a day. I take
so we
one
don't
when
stink.
I wake up before I go to bed. I take 2 baths a day.
And it's relaxing. I could go to. I sleep better knowing that when I get into my sheets aren't gonna smell like ass.
No, same. Because I change my sheets. I wash my sheets every 2 weeks, and I swap between 2. You know what I mean? So I wash one, and then I put it in storage for 2 weeks. And I'm on the new sheets for 2 weeks, and then I wash those, and I put the ones from storage out. And so I'm like trying to keep myself clean. Everything I'm not a recent guy.
A lot of people, I know people who use the same towel for a week and shit like that. New
Nope.
towel each time.
Each time. I had a girlfriend, like, she said I had Catholic guilt over laundry because I do laundry.
Catholic guilt over laundry.
Yeah, you know the Catholic guilt. Like,
yeah.
No, for me it's laundry because like I like if I like I'm gonna wash this after because I've only worn it since you've been here. Let me be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But the thing is, after I'm done with this, I'm putting it exactly in the wash. If I wear something for an hour minimum, dirty.
Because, I mean, you get sweat cells, skin cells, micro imperceivable things that when you put it back on, it has this funk to it.
Smell.
You could smell your body from the other day. It's disgusting.
It smells used.
Like, have you ever gone to, like, an estate sale or something, and then you see a really sick leather jacket or something, and you go to, like, well, you're about to put it on, you're like, ooh.
But you gotta take it to the wash, motherfucker. You don't just put it on.
You can't. Well, no, I mean, like, you want to try to see if it even fits or something, but you're like, oh, I don't even want to try this on. And then you take the risk and you buy it, and the shit's too big because it was a really big old guy.
I prefer it a little bigger because, you know what?
Leather jackets?
Yeah, I prefer my little jackets a little bigger. You know what I mean?
I like them like form-fitting to my skin, so I could look like Neo from The Matrix, but like John Wick, but a little fatter, like thick Wick.
I like it loose, you know what I mean? And because I like to, when you give it to a girl, it's like extra big on her. She likes it extra big. You know what I mean? You're always
I already wear like size, like with my shirts are double XL, so like it's just like my leather.
These are Japanese XLs. These shirts.
So any Japanese big guy, if you wanna get in the ring with him, know that he's an American XL. In real life, that Japanese XL didn't do it. I don't know. How do you judge somebody? Is he a big guy in Japan? Because extra large implies big person. Is a person who wears an XL in Japan a big guy, or are they just making them smaller and he's a regular guy?
Well, most of the world is not as big as Americans. Americans are pretty big.
Yeah.
We're not the biggest. We're like, I think there was a study that came out like 2 or 3 years ago that said we're like top 10, but we're not like number 1.
I mean, like, if you see Canadians, man, they're like we're like Budweiser, they're like Bud Light. You need a few less of us to get drunk. You need a few more of them, so you also get the calories along with it too. They're like, oh, hey, maple syrup and all.
We also got the Midwest. We got like Wisconsin. We got Ohio.
They kind of count as Canada a little bit. They kind of talk the same.
Hey.
You know what? My thing is like, anything outside of New York and California doesn't exist. Just like that's just there's a big gray area in between.
How often have you been to New York? I've only been to New York once.
I go to New York pretty fairly often. Actually, I'm probably gonna be there most of next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you go in New York?
I got family in Brooklyn and Queens, a little bit of Queens and couple Queens in Queens. No, I got a couple family members in Queens and a couple in Brooklyn. So I go visit them, and I do a lot of comedy out there. Man, the comedy scene out there is pop.
It's different than here.
Yeah, but I'll tell you,
it's different here.
They have more of a community. They know each other. So like at first it doesn't work out, but then once they kind of start to know your name, because like I could tell I wasn't going to be there long enough for them to know my name last summer, because like I was just. I mean, you do a few clubs, you can't hit them all. You really can't. And there's so many people in New York versus here. How many people want to be comedians in New York versus how many want to be comedians in LA? It's crazy. It's so spread out, you can't really see I mean, you used to be able to. When you went to the Comedy Store on a Monday, back when you remember
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, we used to line up and everybody'd be there. Kill Tony was there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People, there was like fucking 500 people out
Before
front of
Texas jokes. And Florida.
Yeah, exactly. And now, like, I'm sure those scenes are amazing. But, man, I'll tell you what, it really did kind of do damage to the scene. The scene's, like, not as popping as it once was. I mean, it's still stuff to do. Don't get me wrong. Like,
why would you say that? Like, what's the difference between pre and post COVID? Because you, like you said, you've been doing it since you were like 16.
Yeah, you know, for me, and I shouldn't talk shit because I've been working a lot. I've been doing a lot of shows, but
you've also been producing your own.
And I've been producing my own, but you know, it seems like before there was more of a kind of community where, like, you know, everybody got together and the home base was the Comedy Store. People would go there and then they'd go to the Laugh Factory sometimes, but they'd always go there and the Improv. And you'd always see the same people.
I will say this. I feel like a lot of people, especially like the kind of comics that we hang around, they kind of don't want to go to like the Laugh Factory. They don't want to go to the Comedy Store, Flappers.
They want those alt rooms, and I get it. Like, I like alt rooms. Matter of fact, all my shows have been alt rooms. I like it because you're not paying to put producers up. Mm-hmm. You're paying to put the comics up now. Mm-hmm. At that point, when you go to see a comedy show at a brewery, you're paying directly the comedians, and you're paying exactly for the beer you want. You're not paying for a $9 fucking Firestone fucking 805 or whatever at the Ha. You're literally $9 is what they charge for an 805. Or you're not going to the Comedy Store and drinking this alcohol that's sat outside, that they're just opening this bar up. You're supposed to expect that these little freaking fruit flies don't get in there and gnats and stuff aren't inside the bottles. Dude, if the guy John Taffert from freaking Bar Rescue went to any of these comedy goes, "Are you kidding me? This is fucking disgusting."
Yeah, I do love Bar Rescue. I ain't gonna lie. That is my guilty pleasure. I do love Bar Rescue.
I like how he walks in there like a fucking mobster Uncle Fester type deal. He's just snarling and kind of goofy.
I will say the only comedy club I don't want to or will ever perform at right now is the Chateau.
The Chateau.
Shit-toe. As because of the owner, Felix. You know what I mean?
You know what? I've never met him, and personally, I've never performed there. I don't mind saying the joke though, because listen, any comedy club in this industry is technically a competitor when you're producing shows. Yeah. And if you're not paying your comedians or at least making them have a good time when they come to your show, what the fuck's the point? At least when I produce a show, I like my comedians to leave with a little weed at least, or I mean, now I'm able to actually do that. Like make sure you leave with a grip of stuff. And now I'm trying to make it where you have opportunity to get paid. Yeah, we do all kind. We try to make it fun where it's just like we try to make it a legit show. But like literally, comedy is comedy. It's not a comedy club. Like you're going to see the comedians. It shouldn't matter where you see them at. Yeah. You go see them at a fucking brewery or a comedy club. It doesn't matter. Or a backyard. Matter of fact, I've been to some great shows in backyards.
Great, plenty of them. Plenty of them.
Honestly, support your local comedians and. Oh, God. I'm burping up some of that Sprite. Yeah. Support your local comedians and you will find some amazing shows. Dude, there's one in North Hollywood right here that Al Barami, who used to put on the Sunday show at the Comedy Store. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the Show Up, Go Up?
I never went to that one. Yeah. I've never performed at a Comedy Store.
Oh really? Never. Oh man,
I've only been to the Ballet Room of the Comedy Store. I've never even seen a show in the main room.
I've performed in every room at the Comedy Store. I've even done a podcast in the basement at the Comedy Store. But I'll tell you what, it is just a fucking space. You're doing more here than you could do there because there's less restriction for you.
True.
And to be honest with you, the Comedy Store, I mean, it's a cool club. It's a place. It's just a place like any other place.
See, the thing is, I was at a. I don't think I ever told you this. Before I ever became a comedian, I actually used to date a comedian, and so one of the things I used to do for her is like she would ask me to go to like events for her that she couldn't go to because she had prior engagements, and so I went to this one engagement for her, and it was like they even said like they were like booking for like TVs and like Conan and all this, and like it doesn't matter if the comics are laughing or not. All that matters is if I listen to you and I can hear you and I laugh at you. That's all that matters. All that matters is if I hear you and I laugh at you.
You know, but that's the bullshit. There's this kind of. Everybody has this entitlement lately, like they know what they could call a comedian. Like these people are reviewers. A comedian's job is to make you laugh. I don't give a fuck how they do it. If they get up on stage and they like tumble around like freaking Charlie Chaplin, or if they do Doug Stanhope style dirty jokes, or if they just go up there and tell fart jokes or your mom jokes, if they make you laugh, they did their job at the end of the night. And for anybody to say that there's this hierarchy of comedy. It's just ridiculous. I hate when people try to tell you like, oh, a fart joke isn't funny. It's like, well, what makes it not funny? They laughed. Yeah. Oh, it's so low brow. It's like, no, it's like it's actually low colon, but it's a low baritone.
Brown note.
The brown note, exactly. A fart joke is always funny. A shit joke, if you make somebody laugh with it, it's funny.
Yeah.
If nobody laughs, then it's not funny. But guess what? It was still a joke. You should let that person move on and shouldn't ridicule them over one dumb thing they said. I've heard people say some horrible jokes on. Matter of fact, I heard a guy confess to murdering a transsexual woman on stage, and everybody sat at the Burbank Comedy Festival. I swear to God, and we sat there and watched this guy. Everybody, he gets off stage and he says, "How did I do?" This guy, he's from Ireland. He says, "Oh, how'd I do?" And I'm like, "Were those all jokes?" And he goes, "No, they're true things that happened to me." And we're like. Sometimes you got to make jokes on. He had all these tattoos on him and stuff. So you know what? Yeah, I was gonna say. So there are some irredeemable jokes, but like people need to let people go. If somebody tried to actually tell a joke, not a true story of them trying to murder somebody, that's not a joke. If somebody tells a joke and it doesn't hit, you got to give them the kind of benefit of the doubt, because I mean, there's people out there that truly aren't even trying to make a joke and say horrible things. Look at freaking Kramer. Kramer just started screaming the N-word like randomly, and it's like I don't understand why you would want to do that. I don't think it was a joke, but you can't give you a person a pass for that.
We've known other comics, and you've had other comics, and you've had a discussion. I've heard you had discussions with the comics who've been on your open mics, and they said the N-word, and you've had a conversation of why they can't.
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't.
It was the way of how
it was more. Yeah, I was gonna say it, and it's more the way. You were talking about a young Mexican. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say his name. I was just saying he was Mexican.
Young comic.
Yeah, young comic who's Mexican.
Don't describe him.
I just want to say that much so we know he wasn't black. And he gets up on stage and he tells a joke. He says, man, black people need to do this and black people need to do that. And now he's not talking about himself, and he's not using the word black people either. Yeah. So you can kind of imagine what he was using. So when he gets off stage, I don't tell him he can't say it. I say, hey, listen, there was no black people in the audience today. Yeah. 0.
Yeah.
I want you to go tell that joke in a room full of black people and tell me if you feel comfortable and if you use the same words.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I'm going to try it. He did. And supposedly almost got beaten up pretty bad for it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And
the way he was saying shit, it was...
And he came back and he did the same thing again. There's some people you just can't teach. You just can't give them the stage and opportunity to do it again after they've learned and not done it.
Well, you know, being a producer, you have to make a decision of not to like put someone on stage. When does it come to that point where you have to like say, I can't promote what you're saying?
So I kind of give everybody a freedom of space, and if you're doing it in good nature and in comedy, I have no problem with you saying whatever you want to say. But if you get up there and there's even an ounce of hate in it, or you're taking slides at the audience's expense, like you're going and you're picking on people. I hate when people pick on people. It's not even you're not. First off, you cannot heckle the crowd. The crowd has to heckle you for you to work back with them. And it's not crowd work when you're picking on the crowd. I hate that.
Yeah.
So usually I kind of got to determine, are they doing this in good nature? Are they doing this for good fun? Is the audience having a good time? Is the person they singled out having a good time?
Yeah, because it does take a little bit of like...
you gotta watch them a little bit. So I give everybody a chance because I think everybody deserves that. Man, I've put on some comics that people said you should not have that person at your show, and they were right sometimes.
Yes, we've had multiple. You've had multiple occasions where that happens to you.
Oh yeah,
and I've been on both ends of not both ends of, but I've heard both ends of the situation, I should say, and I was like, yeah, sometimes you should just say what you're saying because it's not funny. It's just not good.
Right, exactly. If you're not funny, and nobody laughed at it, not only should you stop doing it, now you need to improve. Like so, now you've made the correction. You've stopped saying whatever negative thing it is. Maybe it's a hateful thing towards somebody. Maybe it's something that's just not funny, and people are like, not funny. You just gotta learn.
Sometimes there's a place.
Most of it's ignorance. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's sometimes where I like, I have this kind of premise, but I don't know how to make it funny, and when I think of it, and I've said it out loud to a few, I'll say a joke out loud to a friend or a fellow comic beforehand. And I was like,
you wait for the reaction.
I was like, they're like, I'm like, yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, it was a little cringe. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say something I think like is like a lot of the comics don't want to be edgy, and and I agree with that. Like you should try and be edgy, but like.
Oh, I've been working on a clean set lately, man.
Clean set's hard.
I'm trying to do 20 minutes clean.
That's hard.
Oh, dude, I swear to God, the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life is walk into a room that you know everybody and try to be clean. Like, you know what I mean? You walk into those rooms, and so, like, the past 3 nights, I've kind of abandoned the clean thing, but I need to get back to it, because the reason I'm trying to do clean, if you could do 20 minutes of your material completely clean, there's nothing you can't do in this world. Matter of fact, you could add filler. That's an hour special if you add fuck.
Yeah. Fuck or ass or
shit. Or like a couple Spanish bad words too. Bendejo.
No, but it is true. But coming up in October, you have your festival coming up, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit. It's the 2nd, right?
The 2nd is my birthday, believe it or not, but October 20th and 21st. That's crazy, man.
No. I meant to say this is your 2nd.
Oh, third.
Excuse me. Their 3rd Stoner Festival. Drunken Stoner Festival.
3rd Drunken Stoner Festival.
So, yes, this is your 3rd Drunken Festival. Your birthday's the 2nd. Funny enough, mine's the 5th. So we're
That's right. I remember me and you talking about that. Because I remember you did this show a week after your birthday, I think. Or... I mean, look, it was like a couple weeks after your birthday because me and you talked about it. We're like, oh, we're both October babies.
Yeah.
But it's going to be October 20th and 21st, man. It's going to be in Roseman, California, which is like the bordering city of Lancaster. People ask why I do stuff out there. Because you could do a lot more out there.
It would get more space.
Yeah.
Jinx.
I used to want to do everything just in the county right here in.
It's hard to do it in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it is because especially if you do the shows I do, I like you to be able to smoke at all my shows. I like people to be able to drink at all my shows. And then I want good food to be there, because like that's been a problem with the past couple festivals is I didn't have full control of the food we had. And this time I do. Oh, this is going to be better, man. This time we got a sushi truck. Ooh. We got barbecue coming out there. We got pizza. We got Mike Silver's doing burgers.
Mike's
have you seen his little pop up?
Yeah, no. Mike is one of the hustlers of comedians. He's I will say this, Mike Silver, you're the hustler. You're the comic hustler. Like,
he really is, man.
Every time I try to sign up for Mike, you know what I always see? Mike Silver. Don't matter what show, what Mike, whatever, doesn't matter where it is. Mike Silver is.
You see him like number 13 on there.
Yeah,
right there.
He's there. He's there because you know what? He's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, man.
He's that man.
He drives like a madman too, man. I've tried to follow him one time. Oh man, I tried to follow him from one of my shows to another show in Hollywood. Dude. This dude was doing 110 on the freeway, and when I got there, he had already gone up. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And he was just like, yeah, man, I was going to sign you up, but you weren't here yet. No, I didn't know if you were coming. I'm like, holy shit, man. Yeah, he's a good driver. He's a maniac, though.
You know, when you drive in L.A., it's not like there's aggressive drivers, there's cautious drivers. In L.A., it's survival driver.
It's survival driver, yeah.
I mean, you're just like, fuck it, man.
It's Carmageddon out here, man.
Yeah, way more ways than ones. But yeah, so it's gonna be. What's the location?
So it's gonna be. It's called the Rock Kingdom in Roseman, California. It's this amazing fairgrounds where they do like normally like fairs and stuff like that. It's 10 acres, but we're on 2.5 of it. I'm setting us up, and
that's a lot of area.
Oh, it's a lot of area. So we're gonna have an area that's gonna be the main. Well, it's kind of like the main sun stage, so you know it'll be outside with all the Joshua trees behind it. Then we're gonna have another one that's gonna be in the middle of all the action. That's gonna be like all the food trucks are gonna surround it, all the weed vendors are gonna surround it. So you're gonna be able to get your smoke on. You're gonna be able to see some amazing shows, grub like crazy, and some amazing
barbecue
food.
Horse style. I gotta get try that.
Oh, dude,
I love barbecue. Barbecue's my shit.
Oh, we're gonna have. So in my knock on wood. Shoot,
that's fake wood, but
oh no,
that's
linoleum. All right, yeah. My buddy who does the barbecue for Be Real TV, Bart's Barbecue. Yeah, he's amazing. This guy does. I mean, he's Cypress Hill's favorite barbecue guy.
Oh shit.
He's gonna probably come out and hook up all the some of the comics and a few other people with some amazing, delicious food.
Yes, I'm gonna be on Russell's episode session because you have it different from before. Because beforehand you were doing the whole thing.
Yeah, so that was kind of tiring because we did that day. I only booked 40 and 39 of the comics that I booked showed up, but then another like 5 people showed up as well. So we had like 44 comics go up on stage.
That's quite impressive. That only of the 40 you invited, only one person didn't show up. That's actually quite impressive. Usually, it doesn't even matter if you invite 5 people. There's like 1 or 2 people.
No, it was 42 that we had booked, and then 3 didn't show up.
Okay, that's still not that bad, honestly. That's really not that bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad, and we still ended up with more comics than we thought because we ended up running our time and everything. The brewery loved us. We sold out all their beers and stuff, and
people were there.
Dude, I swear to God, and their beers were great. Like they had excellent really beer. We had a fun time. It was ice cold, and we still had people pack in and out of there. Listen to the comedy, but yeah, this time I'm doing it different. Instead of hosting the whole thing whole way through, which is
a lot of work.
It's a lot for anybody.
And it's 2 days this time.
This is 2 days.
Yeah. What days?
So it's gonna be Friday and Saturday, October 20th and the 21st.
Okay.
So I broke it down into multiple different shows. So so comedians that host shows are gonna come out here and host their show at the festival, and they have the responsibility of bringing their favorite comedians with them. And instead of like me going out there and booking a bunch of other people, I had submissions and a bunch of people submitted, so it made it really easy for me. Where I just had to go through videos and the ones I didn't like, the ones I liked, but there were some actually really amazing comedians. We have a ventriloquist is coming.
Oh, yeah, dude. Ventriloquist.
It's gonna. He's a comedian.
He or she, or they?
No, because the puppet is an entity too.
Jeff Dunham.
He and she, I guess. So it's a he who's the ventriloquist. I don't even know because
them. It's them.
What is the puppet was Mrs. A trans person, but I don't know. This is Zach.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
shout out to you, Zach.
Their name is Zach.
Oh, so I don't even know I sent Zach hey, Zach, if you're watching this, and we know that you are, you got on the Drunken Stone Fest,
bitch.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I thought it would be better if all the comedians, I told, hey, come out and do a show, booked their comedians, and they booked some amazing people. We have some crazy comedians.
I've seen a few of the people that you booked. There's so many great people. I'm not gonna say like who's doing what or who's coming out, but I would say like a lot of people are already starting to put out their flyers, and a lot of the comics are already starting to put out like the people they're gonna put on. And so I've been seeing a lot of build up for this next festival. I'm really excited for it, actually.
Oh man, I appreciate
because
that.
I'm on it, so that's why I said. Cause
you're gonna kill it, dude. He makes everybody there love him. And since this is a festival type thing, I know you're bringing your fucking guitar.
I don't do the guitar. I'm not the one who does it. That's Dave. That's Dave Peoples.
Did you not bring a guitar?
I never bring. The only thing I bring is Lucy.
It's true, you do bring Lucy. I don't know why I imagined you bringing a guitar.
I don't have guitar energy.
You do have guitar energy, bro.
See, these people say I have cult energy. I don't want to have cult energy. I'm just trying to have...
Cult energy is good to have. Yeah. People always tell me, like, oh, you'd be a great, like pastor or something. I'm like, no, I'd be a great cult leader.
I do like... I just don't like the stigma of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but I do like the telling people, like, hey, your wife has to have sex with me or you cannot be in my club. Like, it's just, drink the Kool-Aid. Come on, calm down.
That's you, not me. That's you. It is different. Like,
I'm not saying I would do that, but I'm saying if the opportunity presented itself, you get it.
You fuck. Sarah's over there like, I'm about to choke him out when we get in the car.
Oh, she just strangled me with a glass chain.
Yeah, she's with her.
All jokes.
I ain't gonna lie, she got the like whole bar chain on her necklace. That's pretty badass. I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw that, I was like,
oh yeah, my buddy Chansky made that out of glass.
Chansky. Can we see the necklace?
Yeah, bring it on over.
She's like, nah, you can sit next to me. She can't see me. She's like, so
I have a couple different chains he actually made for me.
This is nice. I ain't gonna lie. Chansey.
Try it on. Tell me how great they feel on you.
They're heavy. It is heavy.
But it kind of has a nice feeling, right?
Yeah, you know what? It makes me feel secure.
Yes! And the glass against your neck, if you like, when you move it past your hair, it kind of feels good.
I'd be scared to drop this, honestly.
Yeah, they do break.
How many have you seen break?
We've broken 4 of them, but he does replace them. When they break, I could send them back to him and he'll fix them.
Okay. Does he usually charge?
Oh no, nothing. He'll fix them for free for me.
What's his Instagram?
Chansky Glass. CHANSKI Glass. GLASS. Yeah, check out Chansky Glass. He makes amazing things. Tell him the Drunken Stoner sent you. He'll probably hook you up.
Yeah.
But like, act like we're really good friends. Be like, man, I've been knowing him for years. Like,
lie about that shit. You gotta lie about that shit. Okay, no, I love that shit. So we got the Drunken Stoner Festival coming up, and then we were also talking about like, so how did you like start to doing the Drunken Stoner Festival?
So truth be told, I'm one of those people who sees something I don't like, and I try to correct it. You know what I mean? So like, I see a lot of festivals, and they're like, hey, we got the blank 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 festival, or the blank festival, blank fest, or whatever they want to call it. And they're like, hey, let me get 40 people here for 4 days, or let me get 120 people spread over 2 weeks. I don't like that. And then like, you have to submit to them. You're submitting $40 that you may not get back, and it's like there's not a lot of people on it, so like your chances are slim. And I don't like. For me, I don't mind. I know like when I do submit, I get on things. Like I'm one of those people, but I also feel like creating opportunities better than taking opportunity. Yeah. And especially an opportunity that you're like, oh, this is scandalous. So instead of joining all these fests and submitting, I decided, fuck, let's have people submit to me. Let me do my own fucking festival. Yeah. Let me tell all the homies, let's do it. And the first one you were on, and it was literally, that was how that one worked. I asked all the homies, I was like, hey, fool, you want to get on the show with me? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, let me get on this. And like, I asked another homie, and they're like, nah, I probably can't. And then like, so it ended up with like 42 originally. Yeah. 42 homies that said they could come out, we could rock it. Yeah. And we got out there and we damn near did it. And then I said, oh, well, let me try to do this a little bit differently and break it off into multiple shows. And I'm going to do it smaller, but I'm going to try to give other people more power. So what I did was I did one other show just to see how it worked, and it was Alec Pritchard's Hill to Die On.
Yes.
And you know, they
did
the
great. Bowling alley, right? Corbin.
Corbin Bowl.
Corbin Bowl.
And he did great. His show, it was a good turnout for his people. He brought the people, and the audience I had really liked him. So that's good. His turnout of comedians was amazing. So I decided.
I've been trying to go to that place, but I just haven't had the time.
Oh, you'd have a good time, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had the time to go.
Yeah, and it's close too. It's like right down the road.
I know. I've been. I went once, but they were closed.
Because it was the week. It's every other week.
They were filming. No, they were filming.
Oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Is that what they were filming? I don't know what they were filming, but they were filming something.
It just came out, the episode from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They filmed there. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I went there on that day that I didn't know that they were going to be there, and then they were filming for some show, and I was like, fuck.
Oh shit, man! Are they going tonight?
I don't know.
Is this the week? I don't know. I was gonna say.
So I think they have it today, Tuesday.
Yeah, because it's every other Tuesday though. So if it is, I mean, I'd slide in there with you if you want.
I'm probably not gonna go tonight.
All right, but yeah, so I had him do that, and they did a good job. So I decided, like, all right, now I want to give more people opportunities to run their own show, because, like, this is the problem with the comedy industry. Nobody gives you opportunity to make your own money. Nobody gives you opportunity to, you know, put on your own, like, your own performance with your own comedians, with your own backdrop behind you. Everybody wants their name behind you. Everybody wants it to be this whole, like, experience of you come, you bring the comedians for me, and I get paid. And it's just like, I'm not, whatever. That's these promoters MO. They charge $25 at the door for their fucking things, and they take it all home with them. Well, what I'm trying to do for the comedians, I told all the comedians that are booking, I said they have opportunity to make cash based on their ticket sales and stuff. If you sell tickets, you make that money.
Yeah.
Every time you sell a ticket, you make that money. Because I think it's bullshit. People who are these bookers for these shows don't get fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're not promoting their own stuff. They're promoting other people's shows. So it's like, I say, hey, come out here, even if you don't have your own show, create your own show, bring your comedians, and how would you do it on a tour? How would you run your tour? Yeah. Would you put a thing behind you? Would you have a little sign with your name? And that's what some of these comics are going to do. The ones who take it seriously are going to bring signs with their name to put behind them on the stage. The ones who take it seriously are going to bring their own lighting.
Yeah.
They bring their own prizes. I
heard about that. I heard about some of them being like, oh, we're going to have a prize, a raffle, and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do costume contests and stuff. So, like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a whole
I didn't hear about the costume contests. Now I have to do it. Now I'm going to go there in my Jesus outfit. I know I'm going to win.
Oh, you will win. And I'm running 2 shows at it. So I'm
2 days.
Yeah, so the 2 shows I'm running, I'm doing the Drunken Stoner comedy show, which I used to run this show at breweries called the Drunken Stoner Comedy Show. You were on it. I'd have people come out.
Great show. And
it was fun. Yeah, I interview. It's like basically a positive comedy interview thing where I try to put comedians on a positive platform instead of, dude, I'm having a stroke.
Like Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, I just try to make comedians feel good about themselves instead of feeling shitty when they get on and do a 1 minute like, hell yeah, that wasn't funny. No, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of that guy. But I doing that, and then the next day, because I got to do something, I'm doing Extreme Roast Battle.
Yes, you're doing another Extreme Roast Battle in 2 months, right? There's
the
boxing.
It'll be comedy and boxing. So you roast each other, and then you throw hands with each other, and then you roast again after you fought.
And then you and Chocolate Poppy, you guys are doing your podcast too?
We were doing a podcast for a while, but time conflict issues happened between us. I could never get, Caesar's a busy guy.
You're a busy guy.
And then it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to butt heads with him, so it was just better that we absolved it. And
I went to the first taping you guys. It was a really good show.
Oh man, we had such a good time. Like the news thing was so fucking fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. You were one of the best audience members, dude. I like how you sat and drank and kicked it and smoked it with us and stuff. Like, everybody who came, all 100 of you guys. all 3 of the people who showed up, you, Coke, and Sarah.
Yeah, it was a good time, though. We all had a good time. I was just like, all right, let's drink then.
Yeah, it was great, dude. It took the pressure off it.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, we got started this time. I was like, cool, I'll wait. Just tell me when to sit down. I'm going to start drinking. I was like, all right, I'm going to start drinking.
Oh, it was a good time though. And then you were the one who came over and cracked a beer and said, "You're the Drunken Stoner. You can't not have a beer."
Yeah. It was a great time. Like, I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. The guy, what was the place called again?
Studio B. Shout out to those
Studio
people.
B. Studio B. I still haven't seen them post anything. Like, I've been waiting for them to post stuff, but like I don't know.
Oh, about that? Yeah, no, they were trying to get their studio up and running, and yeah, it was like I was saying, I put the episode out for a while and I took it down.
Yeah.
It was just like I said, if we're not going to continue with it, I don't want to get people's hopes up on it. Maybe we could put it out in the future if we have time to ever work on something like that. Like I said, I wish the best for Caesar. It wasn't like we left on it wasn't known.
Just asked because I was actually looking forward to it, honestly. But then I just never saw any updates, and I was like,
damn, man.
Whatever. No, because I like you both. I like you both. So I was looking forward to like seeing you guys interact and you guys think. So I was like.
Well, I love Caesar, and I just if he does get more time in his life, you know,
which is hard because
he's got a kid, he's got he's a job with the studios,
nice.
Which he's a scab right now, so that's messed up. It's not true.
Scab ass.
Anyone SAG after go look for Caesar.
No, but it is what it is. But yeah, so going back, like so the Drunken Fest comedy that one's gonna be October 20th and 21st.
Yeah.
21st in
Roseman, California.
Roseman, California.
Yeah, it's
at
the Rock Kingdom.
Rock Kingdom. It's gonna be 48 hours or how?
So yeah, it's gonna be a full 24 hours. So it'll be 12 hours one day, 12 hours the next, but 12 hours in between where people could camp out. Mm-hmm. I hope you stay and camp out with us. And
see, I'm Mexican. I'm not really hippie. I don't know sure about the camping shit.
Come on.
Yeah, Mexicanos. I might.
We'll just be up and party all night. It'll be no different. We'll just stand around a thing, pass Modelo's back and forth. It'll be the same thing.
We'll pass whiskey back and forth.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Modelo's are just too.
That's my beer, man.
I don't like beer too much because it's too fattening. It makes me feel too fat.
Oh man, I like the security in my stomach, man. Then they say it's better to look chunky than skinny like a junkie. You know, it's just true, like, that's true. And it's funny because like I could work out, fucking bench press like a motherfucker and stuff. This is about where I stay, you know, and it's just like,
I'm the same kind of way. Like even when I like my fittest in like high school and like college, like I've always been just thick. Like I've always just been like solid. I've never been one of those guys to like with the tight core and stuff. You know, like a V. No. I'm just a solid brick. Like I'm a solid brick. I'm
built like a tank and hard to hit.
Yeah. That's why like I wouldn't really do your boxing thing because. Obviously, because of my profession, I work with my hands. But if you did a wrestling, I would do a wrestling. But we gotta have a real mat. I can't do it on cement.
No. That's what I'm saying. I got a mat now. What had happened with the last one with the whole? That's over. Yeah, we're gonna make it better. I just play with you. I'm just giving you shit. Yeah.
But like I said, like definitely like because I don't know. Also like. We're comics, man. We pretty boys. We ain't gonna like. I want to get my face all mashed.
And you know, this was the funny thing too, because I gave them all the option to wear these oversized gloves that are 60-inch gloves, so they come out to here on you. They're massive.
Yeah, massive.
They look the ones you wear at the carnival. Dum 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 dum.
Yeah, the big old butchers.
Have you seen the pictures with them? But nobody wanted to wear those. They all wanted to wear 12-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
And they all just started wailing on each other. I'll tell you what, there's more psychos in the comedy scene than you'd expect.
All of them are.
Yeah, oh my God. And it's funny, too, because so some of the other fights we had Max Goldman.
We already talked about the first one. The first one was...
so it was Zach Honda and and Jared Levin. Oh, sorry, I don't even know. I remember that. And
the second one was
Alec Pritchard. Yeah, Alec Pritchard and Max Goldman from the Green Room.
Yeah.
And
third one.
So Alec Pritchard won on both roast and boxing.
He's good. He's a really good writer.
Yeah, he's funny. And then the third one was Liu Kang versus Rat Dick Ralph. You know Liu Kang?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, Liu Kang fought this guy Rat Dick Ralph, who's very popular on a bunch of YouTube channels and stuff like that. And oh my God, man, it was a murder, man. He's boom, 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 boom. And I don't want it to go to Liu's head because it wasn't like Rat Dick was a great fighter or anything like that. But you know, Liu's trained in boxing, so Liu was just dancing around him, swinging on him. It was pretty funny, man.
I mean, you had your own. What was that? The YouTube fighter one? It was got a. Wasn't there other boxing ones that we've seen? What was the YouTube one? The YouTube one that came out with Jake Paul and what was it? KS9 or whatever.
Was it a YouTuber fight?
Yeah, it was a YouTuber fight. You remember that? It's kind of like that. So it kind of
It was kind of like that, but here's the difference. When it's comedians, nobody knows who the fuck these fuckers are. And if you're not funny, nobody gives a fuck.
That's
like,
true.
people were, like, talking shit to the comedian. It was pretty funny. Actually, I'd say the shit talking going into the crowd was, from the crowd was funnier than some of the roasts, because you just hear some people talking some mean shit. But, yeah, you have a good time.
I haven't been to one of the extreme one, but I've been to a roast one where it was like a crowd work one in New York, where the crowd like roast the fuck out of you, and that shit was great. They tried to do that one in the Third Wheel, but I heard...
Was it called The Shit Show?
No. It was on Friday nights. Fuck. I can't remember. It's escaping my name right now. Literally.
You know what? And it's funny because I encourage that. You always hear me at my show. I tell people, hey, if you want to heckle the comedians, go ahead. It's called the Splash Zone. Sit in front. Yeah. But they get to heckle you back. That's why you have to be in front, so everybody can see who they're talking about. And man, I've had some people up front. So it was a police officers at the first festival. Were you there at the beginning of the day?
No.
Where those two guys were in the front. I'm sure they were police officers scouting to see what my event was doing. And they're heckling, and they just keep using fake gang terms, like the ones you hear in movies. You're like, it was real confusing. And they went at somebody, and somebody just snap. Oh no, fucking me. I started calling them fake ass Cypress Hill, and like I started asking them like where they got their Oakleys at, if they were because they were wearing Oakleys. They said I said, oh, were those given to you at the police station? Were those like issued or something like that? And I was just kind of going in, and then somebody else was roasting them too. But yeah, man, every show we've had somebody come up and actually choose to roast a comedian. Somebody roasted Caesar one time. Caesar tore the guy a new asshole. Yeah. The problem with roasting a comedian is we do this. Yeah. You know, obviously we do this.
Yes.
It's funny seeing these people come up with drunken confidence, and I encourage it, man. I love to see somebody get torn down.
What I always like to say is when I do crowd work, it's like I'm giving the audience a knife, and I gotta stab them with it before they can with me.
That's actually a really cool like movie scene. I can imagine somebody handing them a knife.
It's like
stab me, and they go.
Yeah, that's what it is when you do crowd work. It's like you give them the knife and you gotta like stab them with it before they can stab you with it. And that's what the crowd work is like. And I had Mike Sasson on here, one of my favorite comics. I call him the comic's favorite comic, and like we both agreed like comedy is like football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very contact sport, and comedy, same thing with football. Like, when you're in football, you run the same play. You run the power sweep. You run the I formation, the dive. You run the play action. But you got to do it over and over and over. So then, same with comedy. You got to say that joke over and over and over in different types of crowds, different types of rooms, different places.
See what works. See the verbiage.
Well, just different rooms. Because, like, doing a joke in West Hollywood versus East LA is completely different.
You got to know who you're... Yeah, you got to learn how to play to your audience. And eventually, you know, you'll figure out which jokes work with which people.
What
so
do you
you'll
feel
never fail.
like? What are the different rooms you feel like? Because I feel like we said.
Actually, I'm working on a thing right now. Actually, I started yesterday. I started going to all these different rooms all over LA, and I'm writing little articles on them, just telling people what to expect, and I break them down into different categories. Yeah. I got fun rooms, I got work rooms, I got industry rooms, and then I got stayaways, I call them. And they could all overlap. Away? So stay away. I don't want to say any clubs right now until it's online. Well, you know what?
Just say what the category. What would you say categories is something to stay away?
Well, something to stay away would be like a bar that not only doesn't have cheap drinks, it has no crowd it's bringing all comedians out. It's the same people each time you're seeing. And maybe it's named after a zoo or something like that. There's like these clubs that you go to, and you know they could be in the valley, they could be right next to you and stuff, and they're no good. They're stayaways. You don't want to go to clubs like that because you're not getting comedians, you're getting open micers to go. Yeah. You want to learn how to get better amongst the best. Iron sharpens iron. So you should always be checking out new rooms. You shouldn't be going to the same room week after week after week. You're getting fucking nothing from that.
That's true.
Unless you're running that room, because then you get to keep practicing. Yeah. But you're not learning anything new in front of the same fucking fucking people. So if you go to different rooms, you're learning different things. There's fun rooms though. Now there's places like Accidental Chaos. What do you get from Accidental Chaos? A good time. You know, are you getting a lot of experience? No, but you're learning how to interact with other comedians. It's fun.
I will say this. I would call Accidental Chaos the frat house of comedy.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. Like a frat house, it's fun. But you gotta, it's also wild. Like you gotta, if you don't go up there and you're not like on top of your shit, then the crowd will overtake you.
That's actually any comedy room. Think about this. If you go down to, let's say, the Chatterbox. You ever been to the Chatterbox?
Yeah, West Covina.
Yeah, great room, West Covina.
Love the Chatterbox.
Fantastic, yeah. I wouldn't recommend it to a newcomer.
Fair.
To go up there because here's the thing. You're going in front of 40 comedians that want to get 3 minutes of time, and they're waiting in there for a couple hours. Those are the crankiest motherfuckers on earth. On top of that, the drinks are stiff and don't taste real good. I mean, hey, more power to a bartender that wants to pour you a stiff drink, but, you know, it's all about flavor, too. You got, you know, so, you know, things are done a certain way for a reason. I consider a working room because it's a workout room. You get 3 minutes and you learn how to do your hard 3 minutes really clean. Then there's...
I would say this, like, so did you ever go to Pasadena Comedy Club?
The Pasadena Comedy Club?
Yeah, did you ever go there? So, like, they were both owned by Giant Summers, right? The one who owns Hollywood Comedy. So, they're both owned... This is how I like to phrase both of them. So, Hollywood Comedy is like what you're saying. It's a working room. Everyone's sitting there with their arms crossed, like, waiting for their turn. Like, they don't really laugh. Versus when you go to Pasadena Comedy, it's like community college.
Where you're learning almost a little bit. So it has a little bit of fun mixed in. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these categories could mix. You'll have a couple different badges at the bottom when I review a page. Yeah. Maybe it'll just be one. Maybe it'll just say stay away.
Where are you going to post these I'm
going to put it on www.thedrunkenstoner.com. That's where everything is. You can get your tickets for the website. You get all the information for the website.
I like how you refer to this like it's the 90s.
WWW.
Yeah, the WWW. Like, it's like, bro, I was like WW what? Like, Raw?
I just learned how to use the internet, dog.
Bro, you say drunkenstoners.com. No one says, when's the last time you heard someone say WWW? This is mid-90s.
I've been using a phone for 3 years. Like, I've been...
How did you call people beforehand? You had a landline?
Nah, I just pull up on you. I'd skate up on you. Like, I had a phone, but I wouldn't use it. I finally got an iPhone that, like, does things, like, 3 years ago. And I got an Instagram.
So you really are ghetto as fuck.
Bro, it is.
I was like, you're like, yeah, he is. He ghetto as fuck. I wouldn't do it. Like, you should see the toilet.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no.
It's a hole in the ground. I was always that type of person that, like, I still am that type of person. I'd rather pull up on you or call you on the phone than text you or message you, any of that shit. Matter of fact, Instagram's a new thing for me, man. Like I said, 3 years I've been on Instagram, and, like, I kind of, like it a little bit, but not really. Because, like, I feel like I've never had my stuff displayed on the world like that. But at the same time, I feel like if I don't do that, like, you know, like...
I mean, I don't have a Twitter, so...
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter either. I don't know how to work
There's no real reason to have Twitter.
I only have one follower on my Twitter. It's Shelby Chong, Tommy Chong's wife. It's the only follower I have on my Twitter, I swear to God.
How did you pull that off?
I was working next door at their house construction, and I met her, and she's just like a doll. She's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Mrs. Chong," and I'm like, "Dude, you have an Asian husband?" Like, I didn't say that, but, like, that's what I thought. Like, and, like, she's just, like, slowly describing Tommy Chong. Oh, he smokes and stuff, and I'm like, cause, like, I was out there, and she's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "It doesn't matter if you guys smoke, cause I smell the weed out here." Yeah, Tommy smokes too, and I'm just like, your husband's Tommy Chong? And she's just like, but yeah, she was really cool. She's like, "Hey, do you have a Twitter?" And I'm like, "No, I'll make one right now. When you come back, I'll tell you what it is."
I've made 2 Twitters, like, in high school and college. One in high school, one in college, and I just never got into it. Like, the only thing I would post was, like, rap lyrics. Like,
you feel really inspired by like a lyric. You're just like,
I just like post lyrics. I would like to retweet lyrics.
Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. 3 periods. Right. Like, damn, he must be losing it. I feel like my favorite is Instagram though, because, like, you know, I do like being able to see what my friends are up to through pictures, and it does make me excited seeing, like, other comedy shows I've done. And that's how I found out about a lot more comedy shows. Like, you know, sometimes we'll be like, "Oh man, I'll go over here." I didn't know how many weed shows there were in Los Angeles.
There's a good amount. But you gotta like, you just go out there and ask about it.
I'll tell you what. Not for nothing. I think I do a pretty good damn weed show.
It's fun.
I think we get it cracking. Oh, and
there's a lot of fucking weed going around.
Oh, you're gonna like this one.
Oh, I bet. If it's better than the last one, that's all I hope.
It's gonna be nutty, dog. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have some fun times. I have buddies who do a lot of weed shows out here, and they're slowly getting like better and better because like everybody's like, you know, the weed, even the street dealers like that are pushing like bunk. The bunk's not even bunk anymore. Like lows are almost mids now these days.
Yeah.
But the highs are super high and they're getting higher and higher, man. Like I've been smoking on some weed lately from LA Family Farms called Cotton Candy Gas. Dude, this stuff is fucking stupendous. And like, oh man, I wish I had some more. I gotta get some more of that.
My favorite strain of all time has been XJ13.
Oh, it's a great strain.
That's my favorite strain right there. Like,
good sativa
that
hybrid.
One, and then the Jack Herr. That's my two favorite ones because that one's a derivative of the XJ13. That's why I like the Jack Herr.
You know, I like Jack Herr because the flavor. That flavor is just
the one I hate the most.
Choice.
I hate gelato. I don't like gelato.
I'm not a gelato guy myself.
The aftertaste. That's why. Because the taste of it,
it's kind of got an after funk that's not really nice.
Yeah.
It's like a cigarette burn, like it's almost tobacco-y.
Kind of, but also it does taste like gelato. I mean, and I don't like chocolate.
I feel like the only strain that really tastes like the strains that taste really like what they say are sativas. Like a lot of sativas, like sour diesel tastes like diesel gas. Like a fucking tangy tastes like a tangerine. Fucking like a fucking goji.
Ooh.
Tastes like a goji berry.
Yeah.
Like it.
I feel that, but no. When was the first time you ever smoked weed?
Ooh, damn. So me and my buddy Ud, I'm gonna throw you under the bus right now, my boy. I remember we used to do this thing where like I'd go to his house after school or he'd come to my house. But this day I went to his house, and that's cool because my dad's a police officer, and actually he was driving around the neighborhood. I saw him when I got to Udit's house. He drove by and he looked at me and he waved, and I go, "Oh, well, there's my dad." And then
that's funny.
He calls Udit's house, and the phone rings, and Udit answers it, and he goes, "Oh, it's your dad." He says he's out front. He brought us food. So,
that's
cool.
Nice.
He brought us pasta and fried chicken.
Oh, that's nice.
And me and my boy were like, "Oh, cool. We should go get a movie. This one, Blockbuster's still out." So we go get a Blockbuster movie. We got
that's a nice.
we got
nice.
Oh yeah, we got all the Rush Hour movies, bro. So like we were like, "Oh, we're gonna have a Rush Hour marathon." Yeah, he did it just because, you know, like I don't know. He was like. My dad sometimes does nice things, like every now and then. This was just like, but this is like, this is why like it was that day. It was like, it was weird because this isn't something he normally does. Give us food, like I don't know, it was weird.
He saw you. He's like, I'm gonna be a good dad.
Yeah, so my boy says, hey, because his dad drove taxis. My dad found some weed in the back of his car. He threw it away. I went and got it out. You want to smoke it? And I'm like, I've never smoked before. And he says, oh, you're in for a treat.
How old are you?
13 maybe.
Maybe
a little earlier. Maybe a little earlier than 13. 12, 13, because we were in middle school.
Yeah, so it was the summer going to 7th grade of middle school.
Yes, yeah, that was about the same thing. It was the summertime. No, because this was after adults, or not adult school, summer school.
Yeah, okay.
Because we weren't even supposed to pass me.
July.
Yeah, so
August, September.
Because I remember it was, maybe like July. It was like maybe July-ish. So, I remember us getting back to like the house with we went to Blockbuster. Me and him just like mobbed over there, got some movies. We plug it in. We get the food, cold pasta, cold chicken. We're excited and stuff. And he says, "Hey, you want to smoke before we eat?" And I said, "Yeah, man. I always heard that gives you the munchies." And so like we went like out back and we started smoking. So you want to drink some brandy with this? And I'm like, yeah. So he gets his dad's apple brandy, and we fucking drinking apple brandy. Just look.
Like you're adults?
Fucking chugging that. You know, like when you're a kid, you don't know how much alcohol you're supposed to drink. You just think it tastes bad, so you're chugging it.
Yeah.
And we're just knocking back this E&J apple. Like, we got it down to like this much left. And we're smoking this weed, and like I don't know if I'm drunk or high at this point, but I know I'm starving. And like I remember I walk in the house, and he had a mirror, and I just like because like he's Indian, and it has all these like
taxi driver was the first guest.
Well, so this mirror has all these figures, like these Hindu figures around it, and it's singing this Hindu prayer. I don't know if you've ever been to a Hindu person's house. At night, it starts singing. So I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm like looking, and my eyes are glowing red. It feels like like the scene from Indiana Jones where like, you know, where
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I felt like I looked like Indiana Jones when he was in that trance. I was like, God damn, I'm fucked up. So we go sit down and I'm watching Rush Hour. It's like a whole new movie to me. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, I'm eating pasta and like I guess like we kind of just split it. Like I decided I wanted the pasta. You decided you wanted the chicken. But like I don't normally eat pasta because I'm Italian. I grew up eating so much of it. I don't eat a lot of pasta because it's like that's not how you do it in Italian. It's like it's like a small portion of pasta, a little of this, a little of that, a little of this. You know, your family makes a meal. So like I ate the whole thing of pasta and like I kind of just sitting there and I just fucking projectile puke at the screen, fucking all
That's
over his
brandy.
Like, oh my god,
That's
it was the brandy for sure.
That's the brandy.
But like you see like noodles just like sliding down, unchewed noodles going down the screen and stuff. And I say, hey, Deed, I don't feel so good. He said, you fucking think you just broke my fucking TV? We're like cleaning it up. He's helping me clean it and shit. He's still eating a piece of chicken while we're cleaning. Like fucking
foul.
I'm like laughing. We're laughing because he's like eating the chicken. We're all faded. And he says, you want to go smoke a clove cigarette outside? And that was my first time fucking like, that's like all I remember from that night anymore is like fucking us smoking clove cigarettes and we went and did some graffiti. But then we were just, we were.
Where'd you grow up? What part of LA you grew up?
Here in the Valley.
What part?
Panorama City, Van Nuys.
So you grew up out there. Okay, yeah.
And I lived all over though. I've lived all over the Valley. So no, I haven't lived all over. I've only lived here.
You've only lived between the 170
and the 118.
405.
Yeah, between the 118 and the 101. That's as far as I've lived, man.
I live pretty all over the place. I lived Highland Park. I lived here. I lived in Pasadena.
I guess that's not true. I lived in Maryland when I was a kid for a little bit. I lived in D.C. for a tiny bit.
Oh, D.C. is not really Maryland. It's kind of Maryland. But...
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it was like we considered that because my dad grew up like in Silver Spring, so like I lived in D.C. for like because that's where my grandparents lived during the 90 whatever earthquake. 94 Northridge. Was it 94? I think so.
94. Yeah. It was a Northridge earthquake. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad's like, you gotta get him out of here. Get him out of town. Like.
He sounds very protective then.
Yeah.
Very conservative.
Well, he's Filipino, man. He's a conservative Filipino, like
so your
military.
mom's Italian? You
yeah.
Filipino? Okay. I'm just Mexican.
I got a Filipino last name, so but like people are like, what the fuck? Isn't your name supposed to be like Vinny Vici or something? Like,
you just claim more Italian.
I just look it more like, and I don't know. People say I act it more, but it's just like, I mean, like I don't know. My dad thinks he's Italian. It's weird.
It's probably just because he fucks your mom.
Yeah, probably. No, he thought he looks Italian too. Like it's weird.
But where can people find you? You got a YouTube, right? You got YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah, everything
TikTok.
on all platforms. The Drunken Stoner. My website, thedrunkenstoner.com. Find me performing with this wonderful man right here, October 20th. The 20th. And we're gonna have a fucking good time. I hope you guys all come out.
Yes. You
guys over here.
Where can they get? They get the tickets at your at the
thedrunkenstoner.com. But if you buy the tickets specifically for Russell's Last Resort show, and that'll be the one that Blaize is on.
Yes.
Now you could go and stay for the whole festival, but that's how you get this man's like his team paid. You're gonna get Russell paid, who in turn may break off his men. I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure how people are divvying their ends, but
it is what it is. But thank you, DS. It's been a pleasure having you on,
brother.
Is there anything else you'd like to plug before we take off?
My love for Blaize is undying, and I'd love to plug that like I love to plug him.
Sarah's over there concerned. She's like, we're engaged, buddy. She's like, I'm right here. She's been in the corner this whole time.
Just staring, yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually there. Don't you ever have a friend that like says he's married but you've never met his like that's Kazim for me. Like Kazim says he's married and I've never seen or met his wife. So like I'm like, are you though? Are you just using his excuse to get away from me?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But thank y'all. This has been a great show. Take care. We'll see you at the Drunken Stoner Festival October 20th and 21st. Bye.
Bye everybody.